Hello, and welcome to Silverrun Forest. I think it's Silverrun Forest. So, this is the new stuff that we just got for Farming Simulator 22. I've already kind of set up our little logging camp over here. Little trailer to sleep in and good decent amount of land. Let's see. So we own 30, 31, 32, and 33. This little spot right here. I've already grabbed, there's a collectible that I already grabbed. Now I'm not going to go specifically looking for them, but if I do see them, I will grab them. There is a collectible that is over here on the rock, right next to this pond, up on here, which I already grabbed. Each one's worth $50,000. Can you pick this up? You cannot. Alright, so I've already, as you can see, I've already cut down some trees. I've loaded them up on my trailer here. And I've got a few more waiting to be cut into logs and brought over to a production facility that I'm going to buy right now when I get over there. We're going to buy the paper mill. So we're going to be producing paper and cartons, I think is what they're called. Let's see, carton rolls. So carton rolls and paper rolls. Seems like it's a pretty decent moneymaker there. But that's what we're going to be putting all of the wood that we chop down into. We might even buy another production facility. And I believe the next place we're going to end up buying here, the next plot, is probably going to be 36. Because we want kind of a spot to... We're going to need fabric. So we want a place where we can place down some sheep barns to get wool production going. You can also make fabric out of cotton, but I think we're going to go with wool instead, just because it's a smaller profile. Cotton, you need quite large fields to do that. Going a little too fast down this road here. But fabric is going to be used for the boat yard, building boats. And the paper mill is a pretty decent distance away from our initial area that we're starting in, but not so far away that it'll cause too many problems for us. And I think the profits that we'll get from producing paper will kind of outweigh the travel time. I think there's actually another... Yeah, there is. It's up top up here. There's another little wood carving that we can pick up. Extra $50,000 we can get right now. Let's go ahead and buy this production facility. So now we have the paper mill, which we can see here will take quite a bit of wood to run both types of production here, but there's a lot of wood, so So now we've got carton rolls and paper rolls being created. Now let's go ahead and shut the engine off and let's climb up top here. Because I believe this is kind of messing around on the map, just taking stock of what is to be done, and I did find this one. It is the little squirrel wood carving. And we're going to collect that for another $50,000. Oh, we should turn the engine on. So we're going to be cutting logs to about the size of 5 to 6 meters and loading them on the back of this trailer. We're going to be bringing as much wood to the paper mill here as possible. Now the next facility that I would like to buy is the old sawmill, because that's where you're going to get your planks, long planks, prefab walls, things like that. Now there is an iron production type of thing that you need to do to be able to make metals, to be able to make the more advanced wood production items. And we'll have to find a spot to build the furnace. At least I think that's what it's called. We can check that here soon, once we get back to our logging area. But I think the carton rolls and paper rolls, those will get us a pretty decent amount of income going. So that way we can buy the old sawmill as soon as possible. And the old sawmill is pretty expensive. It's about $250,000. But it produces quite a bit, quite a few different products. I believe it's planks, long planks, beams, wood beams, prefab walls, and I know some of the byproduct is wood chips, as well as something else. I think there was one other thing that it does. Now the iron mine is free. We can just get iron from there. And it just runs continuously. Alright, so we want to park this thing in such a place that is easy to load up our logs. Let's see, I might just park it somewhere about right here. I did have it kind of over here, but I ran into the problem of accidentally backing into my trailer. We got our little winch here, and we're going to use that to move the logs in a good position. And we're probably going to go for this big guy first, this big tree here. So all you got to do is you get on the back here, you pull the winch, and then attach to tree. There we go. And we're just going to pull it up here a bit closer. And we're probably just going to go ahead and line up the largest end with the trailer there. Then we should be able to, yep, there it is, detach the tree. Should have just got out to do that. And now we've got it in a better position to be able to load up our trailer here. Grab our front loader. with the log fork. We'll go ahead and shut the engine off, save on a bit of gas there. Now, let's see. That should be pretty decent length right there. And we won't be able to be very exact. That was actually not bad at all, 6 meters exactly. But soon enough we'll be able to afford the machines necessary to be able to chop the trees down to a length that we want. Okay. So, just gotta position this. Now, oh, yeah, see some of the problems you can run into doing the forestry. It could be a little frustrating at first, or a lot of frustrating, but eventually you start kind of getting used to how logs move. And I'm still working on that. So you'll see quite a few mistakes. There we go. Get a few of these big heavy ones on there first. And then we'll cut some more, load some more. We'll just keep doing that until we have a full trailer's worth, or full enough, and then get it over to the paper mill. So that way the paper mill can keep working and making us those carton rolls and paper rolls. I don't know, I don't think it's a little longer than I would have liked, but it should still fit back there. Alright. I like to kind of do it as I go. And we'll just keep doing this. Oh. That's one of the things I mean by you kind of got to get used to the forestry equipment. Sometimes the logs don't move as you would expect them to. Oh. I just put, you know, a couple of big holes in the side of my house there, but okay, just position this up here like that and drop it in. Hopefully it just kind of, there you go. Sits in there. Let's see if I could just pick this one up by hand. I can. And I think the rest of this tree should be able to get picked up by hand. There we go. And how big is this one? This one is 10.5, so we'll try and cut it down the middle. Alright there, maybe. We can just load these up by hand as well. And we just got one more tree over there to cut up. Let's go ahead and grab our winch again. I think we could just leave the winch attached to the back of the tractor for now, at least until we're ready to pull the trailer. And most of this we're going to be trying to go for the spruces or pines, things like that. Alright, we'll just go ahead and pull this one over here. Because a lot of these, they're just the trees that are like this. They're just, you know, they're easier to manage. It's when you start trying to cut down, say for instance, the what are these here? The pagoda something, pagoda dogwoods, where it starts kind of becoming a pain, just because of how many branches there are. And oh, I am accidentally messing with the winch and not the front loader here. Get this. And we should be able to load it on the back here. Although the tree is slightly in the... Oh, see what I mean? It's hard to tell. Hard to tell where some stuff is at times when you're loading this stuff up. There we go. Okay, and let it go, hopefully. There we go. Right there. And we can always just keep checking on our production here. Make sure that the wood is still filled up. Alright, so we got two. We could probably cut this in such a way that we can lift it by hand. Nope. Cannot. Okay. Well, we can get this piece in, at least, by hand. I just gotta pick this log up, throw it in the back, and get it over to the paper mill. Now we're also going to need some sort of forklift and a flatbed trailer to load the paper rolls on. I'm not really sure if it's going to do a pallet or like an actual paper roll, like a big paper roll. So I guess we'll find out when the first one's produced. We can take a look at it, see what kind of machinery we're going to have. Alright, go ahead and drop that. And just... I could probably load a few more logs onto this, but probably just err on the side of caution, just because I don't want to flip this thing. A couple of trees at a time should be fine. Alright, we're here, and we're going to get the wood into the production. We've got over 12,000 units of wood in there now. You can hear it if you get close to the building here. You can... Oh yeah. It's in there making paper and carton rolls. And we'll see those come out here. It's kind of an interesting little spot over here too. It's quite small. So We may go with a small forklift back here. Don't know if we should go with the electricals. I wonder if we can we buy the land that this sits on? Is a decent question to ask. We can buy the land that the paper mill sits on. So what we could do is we could set up a little electrical vehicle charging station here and put one of the smaller forklifts, and then have kind of a small trailer that we set up right there. But for now, let's go ahead and head on back to our little logging area and get some more wood. Alright, so we've got this trailer pretty well loaded up here. What I want to do is see if I could just grab all, or most, at the same time, so I don't have to individually put them on the trailer. And it's, I would say, I'm not going crazy, right? Other people saw that, I hope. I think my log forks are possessed. See how many of these will actually sit in there properly. Oh, that's... There we go. Probably just like that and let them fall in. There we go. There it is. Getting a pretty decent amount in there. And it's just about time to call it for the day, too. It's a little past 5. Quitting time. Just gonna go ahead and chop this one down, too. And we'll just load the rest of these by hand. No need to... I need to keep going with the log forks for now. Only a few left anyway. Actually, let's practice. I'm gonna need to practice with these anyway, because eventually I'm gonna be using the bigger ones that have even larger log forks. So I might as well get to practicing. Barely grabbing some of this stuff. There we go. Okay. Now that log on the front is probably going to fall. Oh, wow. These are just falling off. I'm probably just going to drop them and... excuse me. Drop them and hand load them. They're probably just too small, honestly, to bother with log forks anyway. So we'll just put them up on top. Call it good. Alright. Go ahead and attach up here. There we go. We just got to be a little bit more careful with it, because there is quite a bit more weight back here than our previous 2 loads of wood. So, let's get this over to the paper mill. Actually, let's see how the paper mill's doing. We can check our production here, so... Yeah, pretty good. Got about 3... Yeah. So the carton rolls will be behind the paper rolls just a bit, just because it produces 215 per cycle, whereas paper produces 230. But we should have we should have a few pallets of product here, possibly tomorrow morning. But we will need to buy a flatbed. We'll probably just buy that small flatbed that's in miscellaneous. But let's get on over to the paper mill. Load it up. Alright, here we are. Back at the paper mill. Let's go ahead. Get the straps off there and get the wood in there to be processed. So we are a bit past 20,000. 20,000 liters of wood being processed currently. So that should last a little bit. The cycles will go a bit slower once August is finished with, just because whenever you start a new game, it's always on one day, and when you switch it, I have it set to 3-day seasons. That way we get 3 days in each month, or 3-day months, that's what it is. 3 days in each month to do what we need to do. Because we will need to plant grass at some point and be able to have enough time to bale it up into hay and give it to our sheep once we get to that point. It's a little ways off from now. But for now, we're going to get back home and sleep for the night. Alright, we are back home. Go ahead and shut down the engine. We'll have to take care of this stump in the morning. But we made some pretty good progress for the day. We'll see what tomorrow brings. See how much paper and whatnot is produced over the night. But that's for tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.